various sectors of pharmacy profession. So when I looked at a person, layman person, what is pharmacist, what is pharmacy, 20 years back, there was very few information available over the social network or in the market. We knew that there are hospitals, there are clinics, and we knew that there are retail sectors where we saw some of the pharmacists working, but we did not know that in industry, research and development, sales and marketing, and other academic institutions, how to enter. So if we see the pharmacist playing a very wide role in the various sectors of society, and the contribution of a pharmacist cannot be ignored. And this is the stage where we should start putting stress upon the regulatory authorities to provide, justify the kind of compensation given to the pharmacists, especially in the government sectors, because pharmacists are doing incredibly good in the private sectors. But I feel there is a need to develop some policies by the government to, lift the pharmacy profession up. And there are initiatives taken in terms of starting the pharmacy courses, but of course there is a further requirement of implementing those policies more rigidly. So I will be touching upon few concepts or few opportunities which are available for the pharmacy students and pharmacy graduates or postgraduates. So as a student, I'm going to take this presentation ahead. So if I am a student in the pharmacy curriculum, and I'll be looking for some of the government jobs first. So that's my priority, because there is a kind of stability in the government agencies. So there are different population of students who are looking for the government jobs, and there is some population of the students, they are not worried about the government jobs, they also look for private organizations. So when we say the private organization and government organization, they can come from academia, or they can be through industries. So these are the most four important keywords if you see the pharmacy profession. So either you go to industry and work for the pharmaceutical industries, or other type of private sector corporate industries, and either you enter into the academia, like a person like me. So in academia, you may apply to the government institutes, or you may enter into the private pharmacy institutions. So these are the four directions through which first, as a student, you'll be thinking where to go. So once I did my diploma in 1999, I had uh, done the diploma in pharmacy in the year 1999. After finishing diploma, I never had any person to suggest me how to proceed with that. So with the diploma in pharmacy, I was only looking at developing some kind of retail stores of my own. But then the question came about the investments. So I had to invest a lot of money, to take a store on the rent, and then to buy the medicines from the wholesale, and then maintaining that departmental store, or you call it as a medical store. So diploma in pharmacy, definitely it is a boost for me, so that means that made me to further go into the pharmacy profession. So what are the chances of getting jobs after diploma in pharmacy? So if you look at the first important major one, is you can get registered in the councils of your state. These are state councils of India, like for example, we have Karnataka Council of Pharmacy Council. You may have Hyderabad Telangana Pharmacy Council, or there are different states councils where you can get registered. For the registration, you need to have your degree and your training in particular departmental drug stores, where you have a sufficient hours of training. With that, you can apply and get registered pharmacist. It's very simple. So once you get registered pharmacist, you get a license to sell the retail sale of the drugs. So when you sell retail, you can also have license for the wholesale. Easily you can get. So you can do the retail business as well as wholesale business. This is the first option for the diploma in pharmacy people. And nowadays the government has made it mandatory that every retail shop in the medical stores, medical shops, they should have registered pharmacist. So the scope of pharmacist here increase. Now, when you are into retail business, there is a lot of earning. So I would like to see how much earning I'm getting. So that depends on the sale, what you have. And retail sale, when you are having a drugstore, you can have a sale of good amount provided you have your location is correct. So if the location is isolated, then it is difficult. The sale is very difficult. So nowadays there are chain of retail stores you might be knowing about also. Like Apollo has retail pharmacy stores, and there are Reliance also having the retail pharmacy stores. And these stores are located throughout the country in different major cities. The location of the retail stores play a very important role as far as earning is concerned. Then hospital pharmacist or hospital pharmacist after diploma, there is a choice to become hospital pharmacist provided there are vacancies. So there are very limited government hospitals which allow the medical stores within the premises. So in those medical stores, there are pharmacists recruited. So for that also you need a registration license. So registered pharmacist can get into entry or into the government hospitals as a hospital pharmacist. And the here the job is kind of permanent with all the benefits of government jobs. Then let's say if you are not happy with that or you don't want to go into that field, then there is another sales representatives or medical representatives in multinational companies. We can look for apply the resume for industries. I will talk about these industries later. And these industries provide initial starting with for freshers around 2.5 lakhs per annum, and that increases as your sales outcome increases. So many of my friends joined in this sector when I was doing diploma. Some of my friends have opened the drug stores. Some of my friends were lucky. I quote, they were lucky to get hospital pharmacist job. So these jobs are available, or the recruitment notification keeps coming on the employment newspapers, and you should definitely keep checking those employment newses and then apply for the hospital pharmacist. Then there are my friends who have joined medical representatives, and they are working very good in industry. And this been almost 20 years, they are in very good positions right now. So you can think only about diploma, but the problem after diploma is you start thinking whether I want to only earn or we want some qualification also. So that's the individual's perspective, how they want to progress. Then there are manufacturing units who hire the diploma pharmacy and B.Pharm students as well for dispensing tasks. So these are the private industries, manufacturing units, which may recruit the diploma certified pharmacists. Then the government jobs like registered pharmacist, and there are government jobs, as I talked about hospital pharmacy, there are government jobs where the registered pharmacists are recruited in railways and some of the Ayurveda institute also, because these departments have their own hospital and their dispensaries where the registered pharmacists are recruited. The only limitation is the vacancies are very minimum, and this once the person is recruited there, the pharmacist stays for till its retirement, and so next opening will come only when his retirement gets over. So that's the one very difficult situation. Another situation is the government should think of increasing the number of posts in the sectors like railways, etc. So if these opportunities do not suffice, and there are people who after diploma they do not restrict themselves to the business or earning, and you have got a lot of time to study further, and you do not have a limitations of earning, in the sense if you are able to spend few more years for your educations, you get more benefit outcomes. So the diploma in pharmacy course can provide the lateral entry to the second year in Bachelor of Pharmacy, and this is approved by Pharmacy Council of India or as well. So after diploma in pharmacy, as your college also offering diploma in pharmacy, you may get entry into second year of B Pharm based upon the rank you get in diploma in pharmacy. So lateral entry people. So as I did my diploma in pharmacy, I got an opportunity to enter directly in second year. That's why I said I am the right example to know about pharmacy profession, because I have gone through each and every stone. Fortunately or unfortunately, uh, Almighty has given me chance to explore all the options. So I am the person who got a lateral entry to second year because my parents wanted to, suggested me to open a retail store and start earning and get settled. But the destiny was something else. I was not, happy with the opening of a retail store and selling the medicine. I wanted to do something more. So then I got a chance here in Manipal University, and they recruited me in second year Bachelor of Pharmacy program. And apart from retail store, nowadays, government has come up with this initiative of Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. And, if you are interested, you can have your own government medical store approved by Government of India, where our Prime Minister is, promoting this Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. And in this, we have this kind of form which you have to fill up. So any person who has a diploma in pharmacy and registered at Pharmacy Council of India and state pharmacy councils, they can fill these usual details which are there in the form. And especially our women candidates for women empowerment, our government is facilitating this or promoting this type of schemes. So there is a good chance that you get selected and you get the opportunity to sell the drugs at low cost and help the society in such cases. So that's another option for diploma in pharmacy. Then uh, uh, how to remove this? I don't know. Yeah, this is coming up. So should go up. Can I make it up? Anyone can help me, because my title is not visible here. What is this? Leave.
Sir,
No.
click on the screen so that it may be visible.
Pardon, ma'am?
Can you click on the screen, sir? Yes.
Yeah, I'm clicking on screen, so it will go in some time, I guess. When? Yeah. No, it's not going. Okay. Anyway, so next is Bachelor in Pharmacy. So Bachelor in Pharmacy course is a 4 years course. You are aware about that, and after that, you think if you want planning for government job, this is the best job. That is DI, Drug Inspector. Drug inspectors are the people who are vigilant about the drug sales and drug manufacturing in the state, and they are responsible for timely inspections in the of the states medical stores for their regulatory requirements. So how to get into the drug inspector job? So again, you will have to look at the websites and notifications which are coming through Union Public Service Commission and the State Public Service Commission. So these are the major opportunities. People are waiting for that B Farm after B Farm. But for the time being, they get entry into other sectors, and whenever the job comes, they apply. Vacancy comes, they apply for this exam. So this exam is very easy for a person who has done B Farm, and followed by there is an interview for this post. So based upon your performance in interview and this exam, you may get certified government job in a particular state of becoming a drug inspector. Highly responsible job for the pharmacists. Then food inspectors, some of the industries are hiring, and even government institutes also, government institutes are hiring the food inspector job. And this job also coming from UPSC and SPSC exams. So keep looking at the websites of UPSC and SPSC. Whenever the post come, just apply, give an exam and get interview done. So You never know whether you will your destiny is that. So you should try looking at the opportunities of these areas. Then there are other government sectors, where the bee farms are recruited, apart from railways, defense, and sports. CDSCO is Central Drug Supervision and Control Organization, who controls the drug testing laboratories. So these drug testing laboratories require registered pharmacists. Minimum is bachelor in pharmacy, who are good in basic analytical techniques to do the purity testing or sample testing in various type of human samples, and they also check for drug purity testing in different formulations. So CDSO is regulating all these aspects. So CDSO websites keeps putting the notifications. So those who are looking for the government jobs, these are the options for them. So you need to keep looking at the notifications and vacancies, especially other than that, there are vacancies in railways, defense, and sports. Sports is now slowly coming up where, cricket teams are hiring the pharmacist because they want, along with their physiotherapist, one pharmacologist also. So these pharmacologists are, particularly if you have a pharmacology, then it is more useful. Hope I am audible. My net is fine. Uh, my speed is okay. So let's see. Next is
Good, sir.
B Farm. So thank you, ma'am. So Bachelor of Pharmacy, after doing Bachelor of Pharmacy, you can also look for jobs abroad. Jobs abroad is meant for all the community pharmacy and hospital pharmacist. Now, this type of job is, not very much established as far as our Indian scenario is concerned. However, there are certain places like we have in Manipal, JSS Mysore, and I don't know about your state. Might be there some of the colleges which are having the posts of community pharmacist and hospital pharmacist. The duty of community pharmacists are related to patient counseling, monitoring, and ward rounds. In hospital pharmacist also, these are the duties. So after diploma, you may get enter into the medical stores of and become hospital pharmacist, or after B Farm, you may have a opportunity to go into the rounds along with the clinicians. Now, this particular hospital pharmacy job is very much popular in abroad, so I'll be taking about that little later. So, to get registered pharmacist abroad, what all things you need. Then, Bachelor of Pharmacy. Other than that, if you are looking for the uh, not for the government jobs, until then, when the government jobs are not there, what should we do? What are the other options we have? Because government vacancies are not usually available at the time when you want to apply. They will come as and when the vacancies are coming. So you keep looking at those vacancies, and you never know, you get a chance to enter into that. But till then, you can't stay at home ideally and do nothing. So you should try for the private and public sector pharmaceutical industries, and these industries are hiring B Farm students for their manufacturing units. So remember, all these industries have manufacturing units located at various major cities, and in the Goa itself, Maharashtra, and there are in Himachal. There are many industries, pharmaceutical industries. So these manufacturing industries need B Farm qualified students, for their manufacturing plant. And if you get that into entry into that, you can survive happily there, because package is handsome. Starting minimum is 20,000 per month, and then it may increase to any amount depending upon the company's policies. Then B Farm students can also think about going to the sales and marketing or administration side. So sales and marketing is the starting venture of all the B Farm freshers, where they want to go as a pet rep, and they do good in marketing their brands and selling, increasing the sales of their medicines. Now here you may find the competition with other graduates, those who have done BSc, or those who have done BA, BCom, etc. So those graduates also, because they also are having very less opportunities for for their future growth. So some of the companies hire them also But if you look at the growth chart of B Farm students compared to those people, it's always steeper. So that means within 1 year, you get the hike of 3 times or 4 times in these markets. So, and you become area sales manager, and you becomes area sales, particular uh, state of a particular state. And opportunities for growth is better for after B Farm than other graduations. Then M-Farm and MS and other, there are other specialization where you can do the master's degree. Let me try once again. If it is going, new share, no need. Yeah, so yeah. So master in pharmacy or pharmaceutical sciences is, it covers 10 specialization, which are like pharmaceutics, pharmacology, pharmaceutical quality assurance, regulatory affair, administration, management, etc., etc. So you can enter into one of the stream, and which stream you want to adopt depends on your interest. Now you should be able to identify your interest in your B Farm itself. So if you're not able to progress to M Farm, you can take a break of your career break, I mean education break, and start your career in the pharmaceutical sector. Or if you get an opportunity for the government sector, you can try to that as well. But let's say if you are not willing to go for the earnings, and you want to continue or pursue, because the returns after post graduation is higher than the graduations. It's not like in engineering where returns are higher after graduation than the post graduation, because after engineering there is a less chance of MTech people to get job placed than the BTech people. So BTech students have more opportunity than an MTech. Here it is just reverse. So M-Farm, when you are doing M-Farm, you have sectors where students are recruited. So if you are taken the subjects like pharmacology or pharmacy practice, M-Farm pharmacy practice, you can get into the contract research organizations. There are various contract research organizations who are conducting clinical trials. So you may get entry into as a clinical research associate. You also get entry into R&Ds, F&Ds, QC, and QA. So if you are working in the pharmacology-like field or pharmacy practice, you have a better chance to get absorbed into research and development as a research associate or research fellow. So after my B Farm, I forgot to tell you. So after B Farm, after diploma, I got an entry into B Farm. And then what I did is I just applied for the online exams. So to get entry into M Farm, you need to have cleared online exams. So during my time, there was a GATE scholarship, which I got after clearing the GATE exams. Now it is GPAT. So you can apply for the exam in your fourth year B Farm and get qualified with the GPAT. So once you are GPAT qualified, you get a scholarship, very handsome scholarship now, and you can, compensate your fees and your as well, partly, not fully. So then I entered into M-Farm, and my choice was pharmacology because I was very much attracted to the subject, being the son of a biologist who was veterinarian. So I was more into that. Frankly speaking, I was interested in the medical field, but because of my luck, or fortunate or unfortunate, whatever you say, I entered into this field, and I was very much interested in drugs and their actions and pharmacology experiments. So I took M-Pharm pharmacology. If you are interested in formulation and tablet formulation, capsule formulation, you can develop interest in the pharmaceutics. You can think about taking M-Pharm in pharmaceutics or industrial pharmacy. If you are more, you have an analytical brain, you want to test the purity and etc., do the research on that, you can go into quality control and quality assurance. So M-Pharm in quality control, M-Pharm in quality assurance, you can proceed. So these are the various pharmaceutical industries posts. So in the pharmaceutical industries, you have research and development, you have formulation and development, quality control, quality assurance. These are different departments where you can get into. Then there is a Department of Regulatory Affairs and Intellectual Property Rights, where you can get entry after doing M-Pharm Regulatory Affairs or M-Pharm into IPR. There is no M-Pharm IPR, but those who do M-Pharm Regulatory Affairs, they have an opportunity to become Regulatory Affairs officers And believe me, people are earning a lot of money out of it, a handsome salary, lot of opportunity to travel abroad and India. So you should be, you should be, what you say, you should be flexible for the traveling. Then, as if I'm from pharmacology, I got an opportunity into preclinical research. So I entered into two industries. One is Panisha Biotech, and one is Nicholas Piramal Research Center. So there I did my research work related to animal research in the field of pharmacological research. So I was working on inflammation, diabetes, pain models, and I have worked with the epilepsy and CNS related models in these companies. So these companies are looking for the M-Pharm pharmacology, or M-Pharm, at least M-Pharm pharmacy practice also sometimes suffice, but very few companies takes pharmacy practice people. M-Pharm pharmacologists are preferred because they have hands-on experience on animal models and testing of these. But in clinical research, both M-Pharm pharmacology as well as M-Pharm pharmacy practice people are hired. Clinical research field also uses the skills of M-Pharm regulatory affairs and M-Pharm pharmaceutics people. So M-Pharm pharmaceutics, regulatory affairs, they all are hired in clinical research field as well. So during M-Pharm, I got an opportunity. So I cleared my GPAT exam, GATE exam during my B-Pharm itself, got entry into M-Pharm. If you are not able to clear a GATE exam, you can still write the GPAT exam in your first year of M-Pharm and then get qualified for your scholarship. And then after M-Pharm in second year, once you come to second year M-Pharm, you can think about writing the tests such as NET and SLET. This is a state level test, this is a national level test, which can give you the government lectureship and government PhDs opportunities. So with this fellowship, very good amount of fellowship they provide for the M-Pharm students. Then after M-Pharm, there is a chance of becoming the PharmD. So PharmD is the Doctor of Pharmacy and Doctor of Pharmacy course. And in the Doctor of Pharmacy course, PharmD, which is after PharmD, you can think about community pharmacist job, pharmacovigilance, where the companies are hiring the pharmacovigilance, where they check for the adverse drug monitoring of the newly launched drug or existing drugs. Community pharmacist job is mainly more popular in the developed countries than our Indian sectors. These community pharmacists are helpful in providing all the medicine and medical device related informations to the patients. So if you go to some of the Middle East companies, Middle East industries, in the Middle East, you have community pharmacists very doing great job there, and they need community pharmacists to explain the medications, explain the medical devices to the patients. Pharmacoepidemiology and pharmacoeconomy. This is the upcoming field where industries are hiring the PharmDs and M-Pharm students who have done pharmacology and pharmacy practice. Now, these are the areas where students, they are expected, employees are expected to forecast the sale of a particular drug. That means what is the trend of prescription. So they analyze all the prescription trend, which are the type of prescription or medicines are being prescribed in a particular community. So in the next 5 years, how the trend is going to be, and what is the competitors, which are the market competitors are coming up. So they analyze a lot of research analysis, data analysis they do, and for the benefit of the company after 5 years, which drug should be available in the market as a competitor or as a standalone drug. So they decide, and also they check about the cost to benefit ratios. So pharmacoeconomy is the field where they check for. So these go hand by hand, and for the benefit. So again, pharmaceutical industries have these departments where they hire these people. Clinical research associate, I have already told. So PharmD people as well, they can go into clinical research associate. They can become R&D associate and fellows, where they can do a lot of research and development. Particularly, they can go into regulatory affairs or medical writing field. Now, medical writing field is the field which is not known to many people. These are the medical writers, or we also call them scientific writers. So scientific writers are, the job responsibility is to provide or develop some patient centric protocols which you can explain about your product, industry's product, to the patients, to the physicians, and to the sellers. Also, they help in developing policies for the insurance companies. So insurance companies take their help to develop their policies regarding a particular medicines and drugs. So scientific writer also known as content development. So they develop the content or writing. Content writing means many European countries, US countries, there are no people to write about the details on the products. So they just I mean, give the work for the contract. And what is the type of work given in the scientific writing is developing the modules for various formulations, and who are the competitors, what are the mechanism of these drugs, which are the black box warnings about these drugs. So you must have seen some of the examples I can give you, that for example, a particular drug has a pamphlet inside when it is sold in a box. So those pamphlets are developed by scientific writers, and these scientific writers analyze each and every aspect of the drug. Now, these scientific writers, the type of content present inside the box varies from country to country. So European countries have different regulations. UK has, US has different regulations. Indian scenario is different. So what are the content regulations should go, or as per the regulation, what are the content descriptions should go into the label of the formulations, that is decided or read by scientific writer. It's a very, very lengthy job, or fully dry lab, means in the sense computer work continuously. They have to develop these. So a lot of people are working in this field. So this medical writing and pharmacovigilance, these are the two fields highly recruiting the B Farm and M Farm candidates. Those who are doing M Farm after planning to go to jobs in private industries. So these are the fields. There is no government job in this field. So, of course, I have already talked about clinical research associates. So there are clinical data managers, trial officers, and research pharmacists. So clinical trial officers and data managers are those who are handling the data obtained from a clinical study. So phase 1 or phase 2 or phase 3 and phase 4. A lot of informations are shared on the databases. So responsibility of the data manager to scrutinize the informations coming daily, almost 800 to 700 rows. They say 800 900 rows. Each row has an entry, and entries have to be scrutinized and checked. Then statistics need to be applied. All those information need to be processed by the clinical data analyst or the clinical data managers, also known as clinical research associate in clinical CROs. So these are the PharmDs where they can get into. So clinical pharmacist and hospital pharmacist are the one who have vacancies in government and aided organizations. Then the clinics, they can go into government clinics, hospitals, diagnostic centers, and they have a job of filling the prescriptions, verifying instruction from different doctors. And so this particular job is more popular in abroad. So if you have a interest to go abroad and get registered, this is what you will be doing if you get registered as pharmacist abroad. So they fill the prescriptions where the clinicians do not fill. They verify the instructions from different doctors and physicians, whether any drug interactions are there. They instruct the patients about the medication, and they take care of basic first aid required to the patients. So, and they give medical shots or vaccinations to the patients. So these are the responsibilities in clinic, hospitals, and diagnostic centers, which are not there yet fully in India, but in abroad it is very much there. If you are interested, you can, So I think I have less time now. 11:44. I'll be winding up soon. So these are the leading CROs and solution companies. So leading CROs, like you can go through this website. It is the ICH-GCP website, International Committee of Harmonization, Good Clinical Practice. You can get all the list of companies or CROs, contract research organization, who are involved in the clinical research. So some of them I have listed here, like Perexel, Equia, Lambda, Lexi, Navitas, we have in Manipal. then Eurofins and Accenture. These companies are hiring for all these clinical research jobs, which I have mentioned in the earlier slides. You can visit these companies, send your CV drafted. So CV drafting is very important task. I think I can take up that in some of the other presentations. So how to draft a very effective curriculum vitae, that's very important, because moment I look at your CV without reading, I can tell how professional you are. So your CV should look professional, and you can upload that CV to their website, and they look for career opportunities on their website itself and consult with the HRs. So if you have an interest in the core subjects like medicinal chemistry, pharmaceutics, pharmacology, pharmacognosy, you can get into research and development. And that's a very good field. Only problem is the funding is less in India, but abroad it's very good. And the current scenario of pandemic, you can see that how important it is to do the research and development. So many companies are hiring. So if you have interest, come to know in BPharm and take the respective subjects, few core subjects. There are other biotechnology, for example, regulatory affairs. They are very dry subjects. Biotechnology is very good subject. You can go into that. Pharmacology, cognosy, physics, chemistry. None of the subject is, inferior here. All the subjects have their very equal and very effective importance in the field of research and development. So, which are the research and development companies in India? And they are hiring for various sectors like formulation and development, R&D, regulatory affairs, and clinical research. So these are some of the companies I'm listing here. So you might be aware about these companies. They're very common, popular: Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma, Torrent, Zydus, Cadila, Glenmark. So I was working in Pyramid Life Sciences. I am also contact in Lupin, where my students are doing PhD, and I have been to Cipla once. So you can try these companies and write to the HR if there is option. HRs are ready. The only problem is now current generation is dedication. They don't want to stay back in the companies. What company wants, at least you should stay there at least for 3 years, because 1 year will go in training, and next 2 years what they have trained they want to extract it out. If you get trained in 6 months and you leave the company, then it is a very disadvantage or setback to the company and also to the institute from where you are coming. So think about your generation. For your next generation, don't leave the companies without any reasons. Then the analytical R&D is also those who are interested in QA and analytical skills. Sutics also, they can go into formulation development and analytical sites, and come with pharmaceutical chemistry, biotechnology, pharmaceutics. They can think about going to these fields. Then some of the regulatory affairs students, MPharm regulatory affairs, quality control, they go into quality assurance side and regulatory guidelines. There are a lot of work in readings and computer-based job it is. So sales and marketing is another field where after diploma you can go, after BPharm you can go, you can become field officer to area manager within 3 years compared to other graduates. Then once you have this experience and you do MBA, either MBA or MPharm, you can get entry into the product management team for developing their future projects. You can give an ideas. So here MPharm pharmacologies are mostly preferred in the product management team. So for academia, minimum requirement nowadays, if you are interested in teaching, so teaching, you can go with the MPharm or MS with this particular specialization. You can pursue PhD in academia, and you can also get opportunity for doing postdoc fellowships. So you can also think about those who are interested in academia. In abroad, you can go for higher studies immediately after BPharm. So you need to write some of the exams when you're planning to abroad. So like GREs, IELTS, and TOEFL, these are exams for basic English requirements. GRE score of 290, IELTS of +7, and TOEFL +6 is sufficient to get entry into those higher studies. And you can become registered pharmacist if you write their exams, such as North American Pharmacy Licensure Exam is NAPLEX, and the General Pharmaceutical Council exam for UK. This is for US, and APEC exam for Australia. So if you have registered in any of these through these exams, believe me, you will not come to India. You will earn so much dollars and euros that you will not come back to India, and you will be doing very great job in writing the prescriptions delivering or dispensing the medicine as well. So pharmacist job is very reputed job in abroad as compared to current Indian scenario. So this is the last 5 to 6 years scenario in our college. We have recruited, we have placed students from different sectors. You see 36.21, this is particularly MPharm pharmacology. So preclinical research, then clinical research, medical writing, pharma solutions companies. So I forgot to tell you about some of the companies like Advinus, Accenture. They recruit pharma solutions, TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. They recruit pharma solutions. They recruit the pharmacist after B Farm and M Farm for their a lot of contract-based projects. Pharmacy-related contract-based projects of MNCs. Then BAB studies, business development. So all these are different fields where we have recruited. So research and development, finally, I would like to conclude that this is the field where a lot of funding challenges are there and government is planning to fund it. And the new policies are coming up. Hopefully, this will grow up and you will have more opportunities in R&D. Then community hospital pharmacy is a neglected field in India and it needs government influences. But in abroad, it is a very respected job. And some of you, if you're interested in entrepreneurship, you can open your own small manufacturing, start with the small manufacturing unit, and you can grow it further to the next levels. So these are our departmental labs photos, just to show you the glimpse of our facility. Thank you very much. I will try if you have any questions to answer. Let me stop sharing and I'm here for you. So I think I'm well within that time. Yes. If any questions, please ask. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Your speech is very informative for the future endeavors of our students, sir.
I hope so, ma'am. Yes, thank you.
And it's very a lot of information for the final years as well as first years for the whatever it is their future. And we are lucky to have you also, sir, as a speaker today.
Thank you very much.
And I think there is no question inside, sir, because you elaborately given all, you described all, each and every department is there in industry as well as in hospital. So they are not asking, they didn't post any questions in chat box also.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah. They can contact me anytime, no problem. You people are there, you can suggest. Yeah. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. So shall we log out? Can I log out? Dr. Shirisha, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It was really a wonderful hearing to you, sir.
Oh.
And it shows a lot of generosity, telling us to give your number.
I have connection with the pharmacology, lot of attachment. So hopefully the pharmacology topics I'm very good at. I'm little good at pharmacology than this type of topics. So let's see. Hope I have justified that. Yes. I just pray.
Yeah. Actually, in a short span of time, you gave a lot of information, sir, because I informed you only 1 week back.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I take immense pleasure to introduce our second speaker of today's session, Mrs. Neelima Sriram. Mrs. Neelima Sriram is an eminent educator with diversified qualifications. She completed her B.Pharm from Kakati University, M.Pharm in Biotechnology from JNTU, Telangana. She also holds postgraduate diploma in Communicative English from University of Hyderabad. She also pursued her MBA at American University of Malta, Europe. She is a trained educator from Malta Leadership Institute, Birkirkara, for children with diverse needs and a certified professional of education administration management from Lead Training Services, Swatar, Malta. She has experience as a primary teacher and associate professor in biotechnology. She also rendered her services as graduate assistant at American University of Malta and as HR assistant at TechnoClean Limited. Mrs. Neelima Sriram is presently working as learning support educator at Stella Mary College, Europe. Now, I request Mrs. Neelima Sriram to deliver her talk to the students.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you, Sirisha. Sirisha is my friend. She is my childhood friend, and that was a nice introduction. Thank you so much. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Bhagwan Raju sir. I knew him when I used to work in Malaya Day College. He's known to be a very kind and a warm person. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me for this short talk. And will they break for a lunch after this, right, Sirisha?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to quickly go and grab a coffee, or if you want to stretch your legs, just feel free to do it. And I beforehand apologize if there are any kind of technical glitches. I'm not very, I cannot guarantee an internet connection. That's the scene. So here it has been a hail and storm since last night. I hope my internet connection is stable. Apologies if there are any technical glitches during the presentation. And if you have any questions, I would prefer you take a note of them and ask me at the end of the session, just so that we don't lose the motivation of the presentation. Just for that, you can ask me any questions which are relevant to my topic or my experience. I'm free to give you any kind of career advices beyond pharmacy and any other career advices. It was very interesting to listen to Mr. Jayesh regarding the pharmacy opportunities. They seem to be very promising, and I wish you all luck if your interest lies in those fields. Without any further ado, let me start my presentation. So I'm going to share my screen and okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's visible, Nilima.
Okay. Okay. So thank you again for inviting me. My topic is working with competence. Why I chose this topic is because the seminar or the webinar is about career trajectories, and as you all know, career trajectory is a path which will lead you to be successful in life. It's a path that you have to take in order to be successful in life, and that is why I wanted to choose this topic, because it is very important to know which field to choose. And it is very important to understand our strengths. It is very important to master our skills and capabilities. So my today's topic is working with competencies. These are the keynotes that I'll be discussing during the course of my presentation. And let's start with few of the motivation quotations. One with Mr. Jaggi Vasudev is that he says that if you want to be successful, don't seek success, seek competence, empowerment. Do nothing short of the best that you can do. Let's go to the other one. If you think you can, that's confidence. If you do it, then that's called competence. I like this quotation from, it's a dialogue, perhaps from a Netflix series, or I don't know if it is an Amazon series, from House of Cards, where the protagonist says that competency is such a rare bird in these woods that I always appreciate it when I see it. So, okay, we'll discuss about it in few minutes. And there is one here where it shows, where it reads like, competency is like truth, beauty, and contact lenses. It's in the eyes of the beholder. The commonest thing of both of these slides is the word competence. When we look at Mr. Vasudev's quotation, he says that it's important, it's not important that you want to be successful. It's important to look at your strengths. It's important to know what you want. It's important to see, it's important to understand your capabilities and do nothing short of using those capabilities to your best in order to be successful. So when you're going to use your efficiency, when you're going to use your skills, and when you're going to perform using those skills at your best, automatically you will be successful. That's what Mr. Jaggi Vasudev's opinion is. And confidence and competence, it is interchangeable most of the times. And also it is very, very confusing to most of the people. If I say that I can do a thing, then it's called as confidence. But if I can say and do the thing no matter what, or no matter how many hurdles I come across in between, if I'll be able to finish the job, then that is called as competence. For example, I did my M Pharmacy. I did a few of my degrees in English and as well in administration and management. But my competence is not there in pharmacology department. Perhaps if there is any task which comes across in a department of pharmacology, perhaps Sirisha is the best person to do it with efficiency than me. If at all there is something to do with student services, if at all there is something to do with administration or management, perhaps I'm the one who will be able to do those tasks efficiently. It does not mean that I cannot do the tasks of pharmacology, or it also does not mean do tasks for administration. It is only the efficiency with which we both can do our specialized tasks that is called as competence. And why is it rare? It is rare because all the human beings are born different, and we as people are having different skills. We are people are unique, and we are having different kinds of abilities, and we stand alone in those particular kinds of fields. So if at all there are people, say, for example, we have a set of friends, and whenever, like, obviously we are in groups, right? So every group has about 6 to 7 friends. And whenever there is a fight, there will be one person of that particular group who stands in between that fight, who tries to compromise, who tries to mend things between the people, who tries to say, okay, who gives his unbiased opinion to both the friends, tries to compromise them. In a set of 6 people, set of 6 friends, there will be only one person who will be able to do it. That sets that particular person apart from that group. That particular aspect of that friend is his personality trait. That is his competence. That is the way he is going to look, or that is the way he is being perceived, or that is the ability that he is being presenting naturally. So it's a natural talent, and every human being is having a unique set of skills. They are competent in their own way in one particular unique skill, and it is important to identify that competence, and it is important to sharpen that competence in order to be successful in life. And competence is like truth, beauty, and contact lenses. When you look at something beautiful, it is very, very, I mean, it's impossible for you to not notice that beauty, isn't it? So if you are showing a natural talent, if you are having a particular talent, then it will never go unnoticed. If it is genuine talent, if it is something which you are very, very good at it, then there is no way that the person who is looking at you will not notice that talent. So why are we looking at competence today is because at the end of the day, all of us are looking for jobs as a career opportunity. Okay, So if I want to find a job for myself, competence is the important characteristic. Competence is the important criteria, which is going to keep me, which is going to help me find a job in a field which I am very, very interested in. Unless and until I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to be somebody who does not want to find a job, competence is very, very, very important, and it is very, very necessary skill in order to be in a job which you like, and in order to grow in the job that you want. So the key term is competence, and it can be associated with being successful. It can be associated in doing the best that you can do. It can be associated with confidence. And like I said, competence is very, very rare. And if it is rare, it is definitely appreciated. And it always lies in the eyes of the beholder, implying that it can never go unnoticed if you are competent enough. Now, let us see the definitions of few terms which are important for our presentation, because I'm going to use them very interchangeably. And at the same time, this will give you an idea on how exactly you have to know what you have. Now, competence is the quality or state of having sufficient knowledge, judgment, skill, or strength as for a particular duty or in a particular respect, or it describes a person's capability to do something adequately. In order to be competent, you will need knowledge, you will need a skill, you will need confidence, you will need strength. At every point in time when you're going to do a task, you will need all these three things. You will need your skill, you will need your presence of mind, you will need your leadership qualities, you will need your technical skills. So all those put together, when you are going to be efficient in doing that particular task, then you're called as competent. What is knowledge? Knowledge is everything under the sun that you know and that you can learn is called as knowledge. And it can be acquired from your younger brothers or younger siblings. Knowledge can be learned, or knowledge can be known from internet. It can be known from your grandfathers, from your parents, from your, I don't know, friends, maybe your professors, anywhere. If you keep your ears and eyes open, knowledge is everywhere. So anything that you see and listen to is always knowledge, and it can be used and it can be implemented. It can be useful in doing the job roles which you are interested in, and in performing them with better quality when you have enough knowledge about a particular task. Now, what is a skill? Whatever knowledge you have, if you're going to use that knowledge and if you're going to apply that knowledge, then that is called as a skill. And why skills are important is because if I want to be a teacher, and if I don't have any teaching skills, I'm definitely knowledgeable. I have a degree. I have a B.Ed qualification. I am specialized in, say, science, and I am having so many teaching degrees, or I have done so many certifications, and everything is okay. Everything is okay. I'm knowledgeable. But if I don't have the job requirement of having the teaching skills, then all my certificates are pointless. They will not, I might find a job initially, but every day I'm going to suffer because I don't have the teaching skills. So don't think that only having skills is important. Don't think that only having knowledge is important. Don't think that only having academic certificates is important. The combination of all the skills, knowledge, experience, and everything, those all play a very crucial role in being successful in life. And what is success? It's funny that success is obviously an outcome. It's a result. Okay. And if the result of any particular action is to your liking, if the result is is favorable to you, then that you called as successful. If I have, if I am at a point where I'm earning good amount of salary, where I'm having 10 houses, where I'm having 2-3 beautiful cars, and if I feel if I don't feel comfortable, or if I don't feel satisfied, then I don't think that can be called as success. Personally, I don't think that that is called success. I cannot speak for somebody else. If I'm going to be successful, I want to be happy. I want to be doing a job which motivates me. I don't want to get into a job where they're paying much, but every day when I wake up to go to that job, I'm feeling miserable. I would never be, I would never choose a career which does not suit me, or which does not taste, for which I don't have a taste for. So success is very, very important factor in deciding what you want at the end of your career, or what you want at the end of your 4 years of life. Why we are talking competency now in your early years of education is because in 4 years, you will have you'll have to start a job, as simple as that. And if you are not going to identify your competencies, if you are not going to know what skills you have, if you are not going to gain enough knowledge, then it's going to be very difficult for you to be placed in those jobs. And to take up any job that comes into your way is not a life motto. Okay, you should never take up anything that comes your way, because like I'm saying, you will not be happy in doing those jobs every day. If I'm given, it won't be difficult for me to learn a software course now and get into software field. It won't be difficult. I've seen so many people doing it, and I know so many people who do it as well. But I know the discussions that come up after work, when they tell me how difficult it is for them to get on with one day's work. Okay, it is only because they are not cut for that particular skill. They don't, they are not competent enough to do that particular task. So that is the reason why they do not enjoy their work. So it's very, very important for you to know that it is important to identify those competencies and choose a career where you are happy to do your work, where you are ready to push yourself through the boundaries and limitations, where you are proactive. You are not bothered if you are given an extra load of work, where you are willingly ready to do those tasks. So success is when you are happy in doing a task. మా నాన్న ఎప్పుడు చెప్తుంటారు, ఇష్టం ఉన్న చోట కష్టం ఉండదు. ఏదైనా పని ఇష్టం అనుకోండి, ఆ పని చేయడానికి అసలు కష్టమే అనిపించదు. For example, I've done my MBA, and I have a good grade of GPA. Doing MBA is my all-time dream. Like having an international MBA is my is on the first of my priorities of being successful for me. So as a part of MBA courses, you will also have to do your accounts. And I am not good in accounts. It's very, very difficult for me to contemplate your balance sheet. It's very, very difficult for me. But because I like doing my MBA, and because I want to succeed in finishing my degree with a good GPA, working towards learning to make a balance sheet, working towards learning the concepts of accounts was a happy thing to do. It was beyond my limitations. It was beyond my skills, but I was very, very happy doing it. So that is the reason why I am saying time and again that you choose a career where you are happy. You choose a career where you want to be successful in your own term. Success is not defined by other people. It is defined by you or yourself. So you should always choose a career where you are happy, and where you want to excel in that particular field, where you can make a difference in that particular field. So like I said, it is very, very confusing, and it is very, very easy to confuse skills and competencies. Competency comprises of your knowledge, it comprises of your abilities, it comprises of your skills. When I say abilities, it could be your communication ability, it could be your ability to mend things between friends, it could be your ability to just get your emulsion right. I know I'm saying this because I remember it used to be it is very funny now, but then it used to be very, very frustrating. Whenever we used to do emulsions, okay, we all get the method. We take the ingredients, we sit, and we take all the ingredients, we take all the apparatus, when we start doing our emulsions. There's very few people in the entire batch of say 20 people who would manage at the end of the 3 hours lab. And most of the time, for many of the people, the emulsion used to either break, or it would never come right. So it is, what is different from what is it different that we are what is it different that the people who are getting the emulsion right are doing than the others? Is that's the competence, that's the skill. We all at a basic level, we all have same skills. We all can talk English, we all can communicate, we all can write an email, we all can do all sorts of things absolutely normal, and it is very, very basic. But there are certain exceptions, there are certain abilities in every individual that stand alone and that are unique to that particular person. That is called as competence. So skills, you can always learn your skills. Please remember this. If you don't know English, you can learn English. If you don't know French, you can learn French. If I don't know welding, I can learn. I can learn to weld things as a skill. How much I can master it is a different story. But if I want to just learn it as a skill, I can definitely learn it. I like payroll management. I like making payrolls for the employees. So, but that is not my interest. But I like that as a skill. So as long as I'm interested, I can work up a course. I can just do a course, and I can easily learn to make payrolls. Okay, so that is a skill. But I'm not competent. I'm not competent in that particular field. You can. So skills are something which you can learn and which you can use in order to perform a particular task. So here there are welding, examples are welding, there are qualifications, there is foreign languages, and there are certain technical skills. Before COVID, how many of us knew how to schedule a meeting in Teams? I don't think many of us knew. Before COVID, we didn't know what kind of effect or what kind of advantage learning digital or going digital is going to make. I mean, sorry, how much important it is to know the basics of digital technology in order to get through the day. Forget about mastering it, okay? Forget about making it, being best at it. But just to get through the day, we needed those skills. And it is only during the COVID, we learned those skills, and we learned them fast. Okay, so skills are always something which you can learn at any point in time, given a certain amount of time and given certain amount of interest towards it. But competencies are a part of you. They add a personal touch to your skills. They add a personal touch to your capabilities. They help you to be placed in a position where you are showing you are almost in a competitive spirit. Okay, the examples of competencies are analytical abilities, problem solving abilities, negotiation skills, like I was talking about the friends who solve problems in between people, improving businesses, decision making, strategic planning. So all these are called as competencies. Without skills, there are no competencies. Okay, but without competencies, skills exist. To put it very simply, all skills are competencies, but all competencies are not skills. Okay, so that is very important to know the distinction between. It is very important to know the distinction between skills and competencies. Empirical evidences. The reason why I wanted to put empirical evidences in our presentation is because I wanted you to know the world that we are presently living in. Okay, it is no more world of your. It is no more the idea of finishing a job and finishing a course and getting a job. Okay, the idea is all about excelling yourself as a person, excelling your skills, and your contribution as an individual or your contribution as an employee in an organization is going to fetch you all kinds of rewards, promotions, higher pay scales or appraisals, whatever it is. So you as a person are going to contribute to an organization if you are going to be placed in a particular job. So it is very important for us to know what kind of perspectives employers have. It is important to know what kind of expectations are waiting for us when we are going to enter into a job field. According to a survey of Gettysburg College, we are going to spend about 90,000 hours at work in our entire lifetime. Guys, 90,000 hours of our entire life hours we are going to spend at work. So now you decide, would you like to spend 90,000 hours in a job where you are good at, where you know you can make a difference, where you know that your contribution is going to make the business success, where you know that your contribution in an organization is important and is recognized? Or you want to go into a field where nobody cares nothing, where you are not making any difference, where you are every day struggling to wake up to go to that. That's your choice. That's where your conscience and your wisdom has to come into play for you to keep going or for you to become successful. 90,000 hours. It is almost 1/3 of our life we are going to spend at our workplace. So do you want a workplace which is happy for you to go in and out every day, or you want to go to a place because you want to go it? So that is the decision that you have to make, and that is the decision towards which you have to work starting from your early years of your graduation. You don't think that you will go to your 4th year and then decide, okay, I'm going to go to US, so I'm going to go for my GRE training, then I'm going to go write my IELTS, and then I'm just going to fly to UK. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If you are going to decide to go abroad in final year, start working on your English. Start working on writing your reports. Start working on knowing how to write your references. Start working on writing proper emails. Start working on your etiquettes. Okay, so it is only then you are going to go to UK or go to US or go anywhere abroad, and then you are going to directly feel comfortable. If you are going to land in a place without preparation and without any kind of skills, then we suffer, isn't it? So you always plan and you always equip yourself with the skills that are required when you know what you want to do. So first and foremost, you should know what you want, and then you will know how to go about it. So I wish and pray that you all land in land in places, land in job roles which are comfortable for you to spend these 90,000 hours. There's a survey by Mr. Mindler who says that 93% of Indian students, or millennials between the age of 17 and 21 years, know only 7 career options. 93% of Indians who are in your age or less than your age, know that there are only 7 career options. 7. So you imagine how unaware are we about our careers, how less of a knowledge we have in order to choose our careers. This is the place where your career advisors are important. This is the place where your networking will help. This is the place where you have to reach out to people to explore and to find out what are the fields which are available and what are the fields that you are interested in to pursue. What are the fields where your skills match? Okay, so this is very, very important to keep your eyes open and to understand that the world is full of opportunities if you have the right set of eyes to look for. Okay, you don't think that because I'm very good at, like I was listening to Mr. Jayesh's presentation, there is something called as medical writing. That's a field, isn't it? That's a field for you. And if you ask me, say about 10 years ago, I didn't know that existed. I'm sure it existed then, but I didn't know that it was available because I did not have the resources which will tell me that there is a field like this. Okay, and medical writing, as much of a knowledge you should have of pharmacy, you should equally have knowledge of writing, isn't it? You should equally have a skill of writing. So you should always keep your eyes open. You should never be afraid to explore. You should never be afraid to try different things. Okay, variety is spice of life, guys. So it's very important that at this age, you start experimenting with different fields. And by the end of your final year, you should arrive at a conclusion. You should know that this is my skill. This is what I'm going to choose as a career path. And these are the skills that are going to help me to be successful. Finding a job is never difficult. Somebody might disagree with me, but you will always get a job. Okay. But finding a job and growing in that job is the crux, is the important aspect of finding a job. Why do you want to find a job? You just want, if you start as an entry level person, you don't want to stick around there for 20 years, isn't it? We want to grow from being an entry level person to being a manager of that particular organization or that particular department after a span of say 10 years, after a span of say 5 years. And it is only possible for you to grow when you know your job well, when you are able to play your field, when you are able to use your competencies in the right manner. Okay, so it's very important to know that there are millions of career opportunities and you should always try and look for your skills. This is a statistics of UK, and it says that 33% of those in employment said that they do not enjoy their current line of work. I don't want you people to be in that 33%. I don't want myself to be in that 33%. 33% is a huge number, is a very huge number for people who are having a job and to say that they are not interested in it. There are certain people who are struggling to find a job. That's a different story. But there are people who have a job, but they're not happy with the job. And there is another statistics which says that there are 47% of the population which think that they do not find their career fulfilling. Career fulfilling as in they might have started early, I mean, as an entry level, they are not able to show the competences which are required for going up higher in the ladder, and they must have been stuck in the same position for for long enough for them to be frustrated. Okay, so 50%, it's almost a 0.5% of the population who are employed are not happy with the career choices that they made. And it is very, very easy. I mean, it can happen in a snap. I'll say, I'm saying this why, because at this age, it happens that most of the decisions are taken by the parents. Half of them are doing courses that they are doing either by the choice of their parents, or because they could not get an MBBS seat, or because they think that this might find they think that this is the career for them. Okay, but if you are supposed to put your 4 long years of time, energy, money, consciousness, wisdom, I don't know, so many books, and so much of resource, if you're going to put in 4 years of your studies, you better make a good career of it. You better have a career where you are happy. You better have a career where you are successful. Okay, that is the reason why you have to have knowledge of all different kinds of career options that you can find to. Of course, you might have landed in this job, in this particular course by force, but there is a way, there must be a way where you can use your competencies, where you can use your interests and convert into a dream job. Okay. Guys, it's very, very, I know it's a sad thing, but organizations do not spend time on training you. Okay. They expect that because you have a degree, they expect that you for sure have those particular skills for that job. Okay, don't expect that organization is going to spend time in training you for that particular job. Okay, so that's not what I'm saying, that's the research that's saying it, that organizations do not spend enough time on their employees to get trained. So these 4 years are there for you to train yourself. If you get a chance and opportunity, for example, if you want to get into dispensing, or if you want to get into, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to set up a pharmacy, I suggest you, if any of your relatives have a pharmacy, just go and contribute in that pharmacy for 1 or 2 hours a day, or maybe 1 hour a day. Just go and observe. Just go and try and imbibe the skills, how the people are talking to the customers, how is the rush of is there any particular hour where the way the customers are in more number, how the people are explaining the prescription, how they are trying to duck few queries of the customers. And that's all a skill. Okay, so that's all is needed for you. So in these 4 years, first thing is you are going to identify what you want. Second thing is you are going to work towards achieving skills, achieving knowledge, achieving capabilities in order to be in that place after 4 years. So once you are in your job, you know that you can do that job with confidence, and you know that you are going to grow in that particular job role. And see, transferable skills are nothing but your communication skills, your leadership skills, your problem solving skills, so your personal management skills. When I'm going to employ a person, and when I see your degree, obviously I will think that you know few skills, you have a few skills. It is for granted. Like if you apply for being a telephone operator, I will expect you to have communication skills. I'll expect you to be very precise with taking notes when somebody calls. Okay. And if you are a person who do not want to be a telephone operator and who is not interested in the job, but you are skilled. Okay. You are skilled, you know how to answer a call, obviously, but interested and you are not competent for that field, obviously you are going to mess it up, if not in the first month, you are going to mess it up in the future course of your job. So that's very, very important. You have to know what job role you have to do. And at the same time, you should be very, very keen on learning the skills that are required for those jobs. Okay. And students are required to possess competent skills to perform successfully in marketing, management, strategic decisions. So employers expect that you are having the skills, and they will not spend extra amount of time, and they will not spend extra amount of money on training you. And they expect that after your graduation, you are coming straight to the job and doing the core, you are taking up the core responsibilities of that job role, without having to do any training and without having to do any kind of knowledge transfers. There is, so competence, why should you be competent? I mean, why is it necessary for you to be competent? Let's just, I'm just going to play it. I don't know, I'll see if I can play it on I'll just play it here.
చెప్పినా చేసుకోవట్లేదు. Mrs. Neelima, is something there which I can help you out?
No, you're not able to see it. Are you not able to see it?
No, it's not being played.
Oh, okay. Let me. You didn't hear anything, right?
No, actually, it's just paused. It's not even played.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Let me see if I can play it here. It says it is loading, but then can you see it now?
I think it's loading.
Can you?
It's just buffering. Let us. Yeah, now the video is playing.
Okay.
We are not able to hear Mrs. Neelima. Can you please increase the volume of the video?
Just let me, give me some time. I put it on high volume, but then.
Can you play it again, please?
Yeah. Can you? Can you hear now?
No.
No?
No, we are not able. We can see the video activity, but we are not able to.
Are you able to see the screen at least?
Yeah, we are able to see the screen, Mrs. Neelima, but it's not audible. The video is not audible. We are not able to hear it.
Nothing?
Nothing. Can you please go forward with explanation?
Oh, okay. Let's. I'll continue with the. It was. You can. I'll send you the link. Maybe you can, if you want, you can just translate your students later, okay? What he says is that if you're not, if you, to be precise, what he says is you will be scared to be in a competition if you're not competent enough. If I have to work as an accountant, and if I want to grow in the career as an accountant, then I will be scared to death every single day whenever there is a problem in it, isn't it? I cannot work in that field competently. As long as I'm not competent, I'm not competitive. Competition always happens between people with similar strengths, right? And if I'm not having the skills and abilities to be competent, I'm going to be scared, I'm going to be dissatisfied, I'm going to be frustrated, I'm going to be all kinds of negative things if I don't have enough competencies. Okay, so it's very important to be competent, to be very important, sorry, to be competitive. It is very important to have competence. It's very important to know your skills and play your field, as they say. Okay, so that's what was the video about, but okay. Actually, it never used to be, it was never a metric for evaluation of employees up until 1970s. There used to be a trend where you had your degree and you used to get a job. I remember my grandfather, he got a job because he had a teaching degree. They used to call for people who have a teaching degree and they used to give them jobs. It was never that if this person is capable enough or if this person is having the teaching skills or not. They never used to look at them like that. They just used to see if the person is having a teaching degree, if the person had cleared the exams which are necessary for that teaching, for that particular field, and they used to give the jobs. But if that is the right process, right procedure to get a job, then how would you evaluate the job performance? How would you evaluate if a person is good at a job or not? It's not a right metric. It's not the right way to evaluate a person's performance, isn't it? So it was found out by a few psychologists that the tests, the academic tests or the knowledge-based tests or the competitive exams, all those cannot predict accurately the employee's performance. Okay, so since then the term competence has been incorporated into evaluating the job performances of the people or job performances of the employees. Okay, there are different types of competencies. There are three types of competencies basically. It is behavioral competency, it's technical competency, it's leadership competency. Okay. Under behavioral competency, there are a lot of subgroups. Under technical competencies, there are different subgroups. Under leadership competency, there are different subgroups. These three are the core competencies that people should possess in order to be successful in their job roles, in order to be competent and in order to perform competently in their job roles. Now, what is behavioral competency? Behavioral competency is anything to do with your personality traits, anything to do with your personal touch for that particular task. It has got anything to do with what you as a person bring to the table, okay, in order to efficiently do that particular job. So those are called as behavioral competencies. It can be as simple as conveying a message in the most respectful manner. That is called as a behavioral competency. And that behavioral competency is important to do one particular kind of job. Okay, if I'm going to be sitting on a position of a HR manager, I don't need the competencies of being very aggressive. I don't need the competency of having to delegate jobs. Okay, all I have to do is so all I'm doing is trying to accommodate and trying to coordinate with human resources, isn't it? So I should have those kind of skills. Behavioral competencies are basic skills. Everybody have them. Everybody is good at communication. Everybody is good at talking to people. Everybody is good at, say, suppose computers. Everybody is good at doing things. But what sets you apart, what sets you aside, what makes you shine is when you do it in a manner and in a way which is important for that particular role that you are playing within an organization. Okay, so there are different kinds of behavioral competencies. One is people-based behavior, showing respect. Obviously, it's the one most important quality one should have is to show respect. If you want respect, if you have to show respect, okay, and to accept or to provide constructive criticism. How many of us are tolerant for criticism? Very less. Very few can take criticism in the right manner. But it also depends on the person who is giving it. Okay, if he is giving you a constructive criticism, then you are bound to take it, and you are in no force to accept it. But if the person who is giving you a criticism is rude and his whole motive is only to let you down, then it's not worth it, isn't it? So you should also know to give criticism, and you should also know to take criticism. Both at the same time should be in a constructive manner. And success-based behaviors, like he should have an ability to make positive decisions, to take responsibility for actions. Now, taking responsibility for actions is something which comes down to your core values. It comes down to your morals. It comes down to the way you are brought up. Okay. Few people are not ready to take responsibility of their actions, and they start blaming each other. Don't forget, teamwork and leadership skills and having to do with crisis management. These are all very, very basic skills, or they are the basic day-to-day jobs that you will be doing in your job, in your employment. Okay, so there's no point in if there's a team of 7 people and if it fails, okay, there's no point in blaming each other, saying that you did not do this particular job clearly, or maybe you didn't turn up on time. You did not have to. You should not have spoken like that. There's no point in blaming each other. The bottom line is the team failed, and the people who are present in that entire team are responsible for the failure, including the leader. Okay, maybe he lacked the abilities of being a leader, and that is why it failed. Okay, so there is no shame in accepting your mistakes, and there is no shame in saying that I messed it up. It's okay. It's okay to say that you didn't do that was not your good day. So it's okay to say that, yeah, it was my insufficiency. It was because of my inability to react earlier or to be spontaneous that caused this failure. So it's very, very important to take responsibility for your actions. Managerial based behaviors, it is to encourage your staff, and it's like being a team player. Managerial based behaviors, you should be able to take decisions very, very quickly. You should be able to motivate each other. You should be able to play by the exceptionalities of your team. You should be able to be tolerant towards having different kinds of people in your team. Having diverse workforce is a very, very important. Having to deal with and having to manage a diverse team is an important quality for being a manager or for growing up in the ladder of your success. Technical competencies, it's very, very simple. Technical competencies are the skills that you can acquire on your certificates. Okay, if I want to be a teacher, I should have a B.Ed degree. If I want to be a computer programmer, I have to have a software. I should learn to be a software engineer. I should learn all the kinds of languages. I should learn to code. I should learn to do whatever things. If I want to be a person who wants to work in customer relations, then I should know exactly those kind of skills. I should be having the skills and certificates, and I should be having the technical knowledge of all the softwares which are used in customer services. I should be able to answer phones properly. I should be able to have the skills which are job specific. That those are called as technical skills. Leadership competencies, like I said, everybody can be a leader if you know that you can be. Okay. If you think that you cannot be a leader, you will never be a leader. But you should have to identify your skills. You should play by your skills. You should be able to tell yourself that, okay, I have 5 people with me, and this person is sensitive towards shouting. So I should not shout at him if I have to delegate a work to him. If I know that a person can stretch himself through to a more number of hours, I should be able to help. I should be able to. I need to. Sorry. Is somebody trying to talk?
No, you can continue.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so you should, everybody can be a leader. You should always know, and you should always be emotionally intelligent. When I'm saying emotionally intelligent, I'm saying this now at a point of leadership competencies is because it's very important to have an idea of your team, or it is very important to know your team at a personal level. What kinds of what triggers the person's anger, what makes them emotional, what can make that person stretch the working hours, what makes them when somebody comes to you with a problem, it's very important that you understand the problem rather than judge the circumstances and the situations of the person. Okay, it's very easy to judge a person, but it is very important to understand that the person had come to you with a problem, not to be judged, not even to be given a solution, but just to vent himself. So you should be always available to your team. You should be always be available to have to give a helping hand to the people who come to you. Okay, and building relationships with your team, management skills, making decisions. Making decisions is a very, very important aspect. Okay, because this will sometimes save lives of the people. Okay, so there is a little survey on it, and there's a little survey where 195 global leaders were asked to rate 74 qualities which are important for leadership competencies, and these are the 10 qualities that they have narrowed it down. It is having high ethical and moral standards. This is the reason why I'm saying that you have to learn. You should be ready to learn from your brothers. You should be able to learn from your friends. You should be able to learn from your grandparents, because you'll never know what kind of morals and what kind of ethics they can contribute to you. And those in the long run might be useful for you when you are doing the role, when you are performing the role of a lead. Okay, provide goals and objectives with loose guidelines and directions. When loose guidelines and directions is being flexible. Okay, being flexible is a very, very important quality one should have, because if I delegate a work, I delegate it in a manner which I think is right. But if you can convince me that this job can be done better and it can be done with more efficiency if it is done in a different manner, in a different way, then I as a leader should be able to take your suggestion and should allow you to do that job as long as the work or the outcome is same. Okay, clearly communicate expectations. We all fall short of this. We all fall short of this because we never tell the opposite person what we want. And we expect him to rightly fit into our expectations. That's a very bad, that's a unfortunate situation for the person who is performing your delegated tasks, because You did not tell him what you are expecting of that job, and you are expecting him to finish that job according to your expectations. That's not right. That's daunting, and that's a bit frustrating at the same time. So you should always tell what you are expecting of your team or of your subordinates, and you should be able to tell them in very clear and precise instructions what you want. There are a few others: helping to grow in next generation ladder, provide safety for trial and error. If somebody is saying, let's try, I think it will work out this way, you keep your you support them in those kind of things, and communicate often and openly. If I, as a manager, I'm going to sit in my cabin and don't worry about the team who is sitting outside my cabin, then I don't think I'm being a good leader. I should be able to constantly interact with my team. I should be able to give them that space and that freedom to come to me and speak whenever there is a need and whenever they want it. Okay, so those are the leadership competencies. Now, why we are talking about competence-based approach is because every organization will have a competence framework, okay, in which they will decide few behavioral competencies, technical competencies, and leadership competencies. They will define a set of criteria for those competencies, and then they are going to design the job role. And when you are going to go for an interview, or when it's time for your appraisals, they are going to use that competency framework in order to judge, in order to measure your performance as an employee. Okay, so this competence-based approach in organizations is useful for the employers, and also it is very useful for the employees, because we as employees will understand what kind of expectations are there for us to reach. And as an employer, he will clearly define your roles and responsibilities, and he will know if you are not fitting in that particular job role, it will be easy for them to pull you up from that particular field and place you in a department where your skills matter. For example, if I am working in a public relations department and I am not doing a good job here, but I am very good at technical skills, then this competence framework or this competence model will help employee to identify that, yeah, this particular person, this particular employee is good at technical skills, but he's not making best use of his abilities in public relations. So they will move you from that field to the technical department. So for employers also, it is very, very important. So this will not only reduce the cost of the resources. When company is employing you, it is giving you money, and it wants to reap 100% of your abilities. Okay, but if you are not contributing enough for that particular field or in that particular department, then that salary that you are being paid is wasted, isn't it? So the company would never want to waste its money. It would never want to waste its resource. So it's the ideal way is to evaluate you on the basis of your competence and use you as a resource in the field where there is necessity. Okay, so like I said, competence-based approach is used for your evaluations, for your appraisals, for your promotions. So this is where the employer uses this approach, and for the employees, you know what are the clear expectations of your employees, of your employer, and therefore you will be able to do a good job with it. And because I said you are working with your field, right? You are working in a sector where you like. So you are more proactive. You don't bother about time. You don't bother about pitching in extra 2 hours in the job because you like that job. Okay. So it's very easy, because if you're going to work with your competence. So it's very easy for you to put extra effort in that job role. It provides clear directions for learning new skills. When a person identifies a skill, and if he's ready to train you, it's a cherry on the cake, right? You will be able to know, and you will be able to think that you are doing you will master that skill. Okay, and job satisfaction. This is what I've been talking about for the past, I don't know, 40 minutes. Job satisfaction is the only thing that you want to look at in your long run. Okay, and yeah, this is about the competence-based approach. And how will you develop your competencies? It's very, very simple. First of all, ask yourself one simple question. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to be in pharmacovigilance? Okay. Do you want to be in research and development? If you want to be in quality assurance, if you want to be in quality control, if you want to be in formulations, if you want to be like we were discussing medical writing, what do you want? Decide on what do you want and identify the competences that are required for that particular job role. And again, I'm telling you, you will need all three competencies. You will need behavioral competencies, you will need technical competencies, you will need leadership competencies. And you identify the competencies that are required for that particular interest of yours. Work on those competencies from now. Okay, start acquiring those competencies. Start using those competencies in wherever and whenever necessary. Invest some time in it, invest some practice in it, and I'm sure you will be successful once you are going to do once you're going to follow these steps. Do not fear to say I don't know, because that is the only way to know what you want. ఎప్పుడు కూడా నాకు తెలియదు అని చెప్పడానికి భయపడకూడదు. నాకు తెలియదు అని మనం చెప్తున్నామంటే we are ready to learn about that particular field. We are ready to learn. Our minds are open to accept any information that comes in our way. So you should never be afraid to say I don't know. Okay, and choose a career where you are willingly ready to spend the 90,000 hours of life. Guys, I'm telling you, 90,000 hours is a lot of your lifetime. So I would pray that you all choose a career where you are ready to spend those 90,000 hours. Please make them worth it. Please make them valuable for you to spend those 90,000 hours. Speak your mind to parents, peers, and the society. Do not worry that people are going to judge you. Parents as well, because most of the time there is always a tiff between parents and children, especially at your age, because you want something, and by the societal norms or by the knowledge whatever parents have, they are expecting something else from you. You find a middle ground, you find a common field where you both can play with each other, where you can convince your parents what you're doing is right, that is what is my interest, that is what I am good at. Okay, you try and convince them. You first resolve the issues with the parents and then go forward to do your careers. Choosing your careers. Don't worry if your friend tells you that you are not good at it, good at talking. Don't worry if your friend tells you that you are not good at writing. It does not matter. As long as you know that you are good at something, that's all matters. Okay, that's all matters, because tomorrow's day when you are going to land in a job, this friend is not going to be there. Okay, you are going to be with yourself, and therefore it's important that you know what you want. Okay, and the society, there is a song which says, "Kuch to log kahenge, logon ka kaam hai kehna." Log to kehte hi rahenge. There is no end for people's talk. Okay, so you please don't worry about the society. Just go and do your best. Be your best in whatever field you are going to choose. Do what is valuable to you and with society with passion to be successful. I mean, when I'm saying do valuable to your society, I mean is society ante we don't have to వెయ్యి మందిని ఉద్ధరించక్కర్లేదు జీవితంలో. If we can make a difference in about 4 or 5 people in our life, that's what I'll feel that I did a good job with myself. Okay, so when you choose a career which is valuable, which is worth it enough for you to pursue, you will obviously make contributions in the lives of the people who come across in your way. Okay, and never be afraid to be happy. Whatever makes you happy, just go ahead and do it. If eating an ice cream on a rainy day makes you happy, just go ahead and buy yourself an ice cream. If just sitting in a room doing nothing exceptionally, makes you happy, go for it. You have to just go and sit in a room without doing anything at all. And you should know when to make yourself happy. You should know how to make yourself happy, because never forget, nobody on earth can make you happy except yourself. You are the master of your happinesses, of your sad, or of your sorrows, of anything that comes your way. You are responsible, and you should be responsible for whatever comes in your life, because the moment you give your reins to somebody else, they control you, and which is not good for you. So you should just make yourself happy in whichever way possible. And finally, we have Einstein and a few other people. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Okay, so you can never compare an apple with a banana. You can never compare one's ability of public speaking with one's ability to writing scripts. You have to be wise when you are making comparisons. We make comparisons only when there is similarity. We don't make comparisons when there are differences. Okay, you will never make, okay, I can compare an apple from Kashmir to an apple from Kanpur, but I cannot compare an apple and a banana, right? So if I as a manager, I'm going to compare a person from say HR department with a person from technical skills, I must only be stupid. At the same time, I'm going to demotivate and demoralize the person from HR and technical departments by giving my wrong impression about them, which will only make them underperform. Okay, so you should know how to judge people. You should know what kind of similarities exist. Do I even have to make similarities? Okay, so it's very important to understand where your opinion matters. It's very important that you should know what kind of opinion you are bound to give to people. Okay, and Abdul Kalam, all of us do not have equal talents, but all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talents. Like I was saying in the start, we all are different, and we all have basic competencies. But what sets us apart are how much we are ready to learn and grow in those competencies, how much we want to make a difference in our life, how much we are ready to put our time and energy into those competencies so that we are efficient and we are successful. Success is very, very important. Everyone feels so happy when you're successful, isn't it? So it's very important to know what your talents are, and it's very important to use every given opportunity to excel in that particular talent. And Steve Jobs says, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow know what you truly want to become. This is what I'm saying. We know, I as a person, as an individual know I'm good at administration and management. So if I follow my intuition, I'll be successful. Okay, if you know as a person that you are very good at researching, then you know which career to choose. If you follow your intuition, you're always successful. Okay, don't fall into pressure, don't fall into prey for people who give opinions despite your intuitions. Always believe your intuitions, always believe yourself, always know what you want. Okay, these are my references, and thank you all for your time, and have a nice afternoon. Hello?
Thank you, Mrs. Nilima Sriram.
Thank you, Sirisha. Thank you for...
I can say for all my students, budding students who are ready to pursue their career, as well as who are ready to leave the college and decide what to choose in their career. So you had made a very good justice to our title, this career trajectory for a pharmacist. So I think all of my students will start thinking with what they have to work with in competence. Thank you very much. I think it was a very wonderful blend today, where one of our speakers, Dr. Jayesh Mudgal, has spoken about various career opportunities. And the other speaker, Mrs. Nilima Sriram, focused light on how to choose a career. That's really great to have two most proficient speakers in their respective zone. I, along with my students and professional friends, feel very thankful for spending your valuable time with us and imparting very useful information to decide their career trajectory. Thank you once again.
Thank you. I hope I motivated at least 2 or 3 people in your crowd. And if you have any questions, I'd like to answer them. If anybody have any questions.
A brainstorm session, I think they'll start thinking. Definitely, if they come back to me with any kind of questions, I will.
Please do direct to me. I mean, if you have any questions regarding your education, I mean, like abroad, because I also work in career advice. That's the reason why I'm saying that if you have any questions regarding your international studies, please do get to me, and I'd be happy to help.
Very much thank you, Ms. Nilima Sriram, for your generosity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you
bye. Thank you everyone for your time and for allowing me to speak.
One more point I would like to add here at the end of the session.
Yes, please.
Has joined in today's webinar remained the same until 1 o'clock, 1:11, I guess now. So they were just constantly listening.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm flattered.
That's really useful to them.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad to help, and I intend to please you all. I hope I did my job well. And yeah, all of you have a nice day, and I'm sure you must be hungry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, everyone. Thank you for listening to me. Bye, Sirisha. So the opportunity given to me, and I for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Sirisha. Thank you, sir. Bye. Bye, guys.
You're welcome, Nilima.